Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to continue from task 3 of this project, argv. So it says we should write a program that multiplies two numbers. So your program should print the result of the multiplication followed by a new line. You can assume that the two numbers and result of the multiplication can be stored in an integer. If the program does not receive two arguments, your program should print error followed by a new line and return 1. So it means that our program must contain exactly two arguments, which are the numbers in which you want to multiply. Okay, so if it receives any argument other than 2, then it should print error and also it should return 1. Okay, so let's open the file first and let's see how we can solve this problem. So this is task 1, task 2, is it 2? Okay, no, 3. Okay, I zoomed in a bit. All right, so I will just paste the file name here. So I will just say hash include stdio.h. So here I will document my Betty main. What does the question says? Multiplies two numbers. So I'll just say multiplies two numbers, right? And then what again? We have at argc arguments count, right? So also have argv, right? Argv arguments vector, right? So we have the return value. So I'll just say return 0. So here I will now close my Betty. All right, so here we say int main, and then I will pass in int argc, right? Then what? Pointer to car of arrays, which is called argv, right? All right, so here what do we need to do? It means our function, like they stated, that it must contain exactly two characters. So I have to set a condition for that, right? So I have to say if what? argc, that is two arguments, sorry, not characters. It must contain two arguments. So if argc is not equals to what should be the condition here? What should be the condition here? It's going to be if it is not equals to 3. Why is it 3? Because like I said, argc will include even the file name. So it means what? 3 arguments. So as you can see, we have the file name, we have what? The first number to multiply, and then we have the second number to multiply. So we have 3 arguments. So if it is not 3 arguments, then what should we do? We are going to print this. So it says we should what? Printf. What? We are printing, it says error, right? So I will just say error followed by a new line, and then what? It says we should return a 1. Right? I hope you understood why I did this, why I said 3. Because argc will count including the program name. So you have to pass 3. If you pass 2 here, it means that argc will only consider the program name and also one of the numbers in which you want to pass. It will not consider the next number, the other number. Okay, so it's going to be 3 here because argc counts including the program name. So now we've set this condition. So else, what should we place in our else part here? So since we've already considered if argc not equals to 3, so if argc is exactly equals to 3 characters, now what should we do? So I'm going to declare 2 variables now, and these variables I want them to hold the numbers in which I want to multiply. Okay, so let me declare them above here. Let me just say int. We have let me call them num1 and also num2, and I will declare another variable called mul in which will hold the result of the multiplication. Okay, so I'm initializing it to 0 here. So this has to be on a new line. All right, so in the beginning of this project, I explained that argv here is holding only characters. And from the definition here, you can see that this is a pointer to characters. argv is not holding numbers. And now we are dealing with numbers. We are told that we are to multiply two numbers. So how can we do this? If numbers are passed to argv, argv still stores them as what? As characters. They are not stored as numbers. They are stored as characters. So, and you know we cannot do addition, multiplication, and whatsoever on characters. So it means that these characters we are trying to access here, this argument we're trying to access here, they have to be converted into an integer. So here I can use a standard function, which I need to include its library, which is hash include stdlib f.h. So this function I'm going to use here is a to I function. This a to I converts characters to integers. Okay, so here I need to say my num1 is equals to what? Where is my num1 stored in argv? My num1 is definitely going to be stored in where? Index 1, because index 0 is file name. So index 1 is the first number, right? So that number that I want to store, I need to convert it to what? Integer. Sorry, that number I want to store in num1 here, I need to convert it to integer. So I need to say a to I call the a to I function, and then I will pass in the number. And where is the number placed? It is in argv index 1, right? Why is it index 1? Index 0 is holding the file name. So whatever that comes after the file name is the first argument, right? Which is the first number in which we want to multiply. So I pass in what? 1 here. So it means that whatever is in index 1 now will be converted to what? Integer, and it will be stored in num1. So I've converted it. Same applies to num2 as well. That is the second digit in which I want to multiply. So I need to convert it as well. So in which index is the second digit? It is coming, it is placed at index 2. Right? Index 0 holds the file name, index 1 the first argument, index 2 the second argument. So now I have this, and we've stated that it has to be 3. So if it is not equal to 3, this part will be executed. Do you get it? So now I have this. So the next thing I need to do here is I need to say mul is equals to what? Multiplication. I'm multiplying num1 and num2, isn't it? So I'll just say num1 here times num2. That's all. So num1 times num2. So the next thing I need to do is just to print it. I will just say printf %d. Now I'm printing an integer on a new line. Then I will pass in what? Mul here. So this is going to print the result of what? Of the multiplication. So here I can just say return a 0. I can just return 0 here. So that's all. I believe this is clear, right? So let's run Betty. So if I say Betty 3 mul, Betty is fine. So let's compile the program. Let me copy this and paste. So as you can see, it has been compiled, right? So let's run the compiled file ./mul. So did you see that we got error? Why are we having error? Because we are passing 1 argument instead of 3 arguments, right? That's why we got an error. So if I should pass in this now, copy and paste this. As you can see, I'm passing exactly 3 arguments, right? The first one, like I said, is the file name. The second one is what? Is the number, the first number we want to multiply, and the third argument is the second number. So if I should press this, did you see that? I got the output 6, right? I got the exact output 6. So it is able to multiply 2 and 3. If I should do this now, let me multiply this 2 and 0. So as you can see, I got 0. If I should run this, let's see what will happen. Paste, and as you can see, I got the product of what? Of this number and what? This number as well, right? So this mul here, when I run it alone, as you can see, I got error because it is an argument less than 3. I pass argument less than 3. What if I pass 2 argument? Just 2 like this. Still an error because I've stated that it has to be 3 argument. Okay, so this is simply how to do this. So don't forget to add, commit, and push to a GitHub, and then you can run your checks. So we're going to stop here. In the next video, we are going to continue from task 4 of this project. So thank you very much. Till we meet in our next session.